Welcome back, guys, to yet another World of Warcraft video on this channel. Today we are talking about a strategy of making legendaries, but also making sure you're making them the cheapest way. But before we get into it, make sure you guys do drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel because it helps me out, and also ding the notification bell, all that YouTube jazz. But anyway, what we are going into today is something that I want to remind you guys of now that we're getting very close to being able to craft the vestiges. Now, obviously, you can use a Vestige of the Eternal for any profession. So what I mean by that is if you craft a blacksmithing Vestige of the Eternal, it is the same exact item if you were to craft it out of jewel crafting. So do you see what I'm saying? So what you can look at currently is trying to pair up professions that work very well together to be able to actually do this. Now, the only problem with this is that a lot of people don't necessarily have the perfect combinations for doing something like this, especially for legendaries. But the other option is that you can do it for the Crafter's Mark, so the first ones. So, as you can see, there's different requirements for all of these, but if you put the material cost together for most of these, it's probably going to be either the jewel crafting one or the alchemy one that will be the cheapest Crafter's Mark or the first one. Now, you obviously need to be honored in your reputation to be able to even craft this Crafter's Mark of the first one. But if you do have two professions, right, it would be very good to have one of them be a very cheap way of making the Crafter's Marks, but also, eventually, the Vestige of the Eternal. Now, as we can see, obviously, alchemy can only make the Crafter's Mark, so it's not going to be over the Vestige. But something like jewel crafting can go for the jewel crafting vestige as well. And as you can see, it requires 2 of each of the essences and then 10 Pergenium ore. Compared to all of the other ones here that you have on the table, these comparably, or I don't even know if that's a word. If you compare these prices, you're most likely going to see that the jewel crafting vestige is going to be the cheapest. It obviously heavily depends on your server, but if you do have jewel crafting already leveled up on a character, and then you pair it up with a tailoring, leatherworking, or blacksmithing profession as well, then you can craft very cheap Vestige of the Eternal through jewel crafting, but use it for a blacksmithing, leatherworking, or tailoring legendary. So this is just like a little trick that is, of course, not very easy to set up because it requires, reputation, it requires leveling the profession, and doing it now might seem a little too late or a little, maybe not even worth it in some cases. But I do want to remind you guys of this because some of these materials have a chance of getting very, very expensive. So eventually down the line, it's probably a good idea to work towards setting this up perfectly for what looks to be good. And yeah, that's basically all I wanted to tell you guys for this video. Introduce you to this way of pairing legendary and Crafter's Marks professions, because it's a very good idea to think about this also because your competitors on your server might be doing this and you might be like, oh dude, why is he crafting for below crafting cost? But it might not actually be below crafting cost for him if he's making it through another profession. So that is always something that I recommend that you guys look out for. Also, if you're looking for potential investments, right? If the jewel crafting one is looking like the most cheapest one, well, then maybe you want to clean out the ore market or the essence market, right? And then your competitors can't get the cheapest vestige like that. But you can obviously think about that yourself and get into these different tactics on your individual servers. But that is going to be it for this video. I hope it helped you guys out. If you have anything that you do for your legendary and Crafter's Mark crafting, make sure to drop it down in the comments below. If you have any questions, down in the comments below. But yeah, I just wanted to introduce you guys to thinking of it like this. But that is going to be it for this video. So until the next one, see you guys.